Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of MD After Dark. I'm Michael Hernan today, here with, of course, Andre Tainter. Of course, I got to keep the voices down because the parentals are again sleeping, so try to respect their sleep. So, anyways, I'm gonna try to be as quiet as much as possible, but still be loud enough to for you guys to hear me out. No, not that type of hear me out. Okay, anyways, so Dre, how is Dreing today?
Honestly, I should have put more money on my TikTok parlay. Of course, I didn't. But the nice thing is, I did put some on my. I had another account, I guess, with a different card on it because I made my relatives use my code, so they just let me take over their account. So I have two, and I made $15 off of that. So I made some money on that. But other than that, my main account. Like Clifford, like they weren't even close to not hitting their line. And of course, did I do that on my main account? No. I could have put $5 on it. No, I didn't do it because I'm stupid.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes that's what happens in the betting world. You get wins and you get losses, but
Literally.
it is what it is. Tomorrow's a new day, and we'll get to Dre's picks late in the latter half of the episode. So yeah, that's our introduction segment, and here we go. Now let's get to our game of the day today. And this was an anonymous pick. So number 4 seed in Maryland survived number 12 seed Colorado State today, 72-71. Derek Queen with the buzzer sounding hits the game-winning bank shot. It was just wow. And now there's a lot of controversy going on with if Derek Queen shot was a travel. So Dre, did you see that final shot?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I like Derek Queen, but yeah. Other than that, um, good shot. I think it was before the buzzer. I don't think it was a travel. So yeah.
Yeah, it was very close, but I wouldn't think it was a travel. I could definitely see why people think it was close, but you know, it's kind of hard to make a call like that. But it's over. I didn't think Derek Queen traveled. I think if he took another half a step, he probably would have. But I think he just took the normal two. Took his dribble and did like a gather step or something like that. So, anyways, looking at the box score now, of course, Maryland were led by Derek Queen. He not only hit the game winning shot, but he also had 17 points and 16 rebounds today for the Terps. Oh, yeah, and a fun fact all the starting five today for Maryland scored in double digits. So,
Huh.
Rodney, yeah, uh, the Crab Five, incredible nickname.
The Turtle
So,
Five.
yeah, so Rodney Rice had 16 points today for the Terps. And then Julian Reese had 15 points and 11 rebounds today. Put up quite the stat line. And then Rodney Rice and Sultan Miguel each put up 11 points for Maryland. Meanwhile, on the losing side for Colorado, Nike Clifford led the way for the Rams with 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. And then Jalen Lake had 13 points. He also had that go-ahead three-pointer to put Colorado State up by one until Dairy Queen eventually had the game-winning shot. And then Kyan Evans had 10 points for Colorado State as well. So Dre, other than the incredible game-winning shot by Dairy Queen, what else are your thoughts of this game?
I mean, I liked Colorado State was shooting the lights out at the start, but after that they kind of cooled off, and then it kept going back and forth until the very end, and then eventually it just Maryland got the win.
Yeah, and this was the first game since the St. Francis and Alabama State that we had this tournament that it was like a buzzer beating shot. And that's rare. We usually see you only get two in your first two rounds, when there's usually a lot in March Madness. And especially with how many competitive games we had this year, this is only the second buzzer beater. But You know, and now looking at the field now with Colorado State losing today and McNeese losing yesterday, the lowest seed remaining is a 10 seed, which is normally rare because you usually see like one of these 11, 12, or maybe even 13s. Heck, we even had a 15 a couple years make the Sweet 16. But apparently, it's looking like a straightforward year this year where you got Arkansas as a 10 seed, but then other than that, everyone else is 6 or higher. So it's a very interesting year in March Madness, isn't it, Dre?
Not really, honestly. Um, a lot of the good teams have been winning. A lot of the bad teams have been losing. Haven't had very many upsets other than who's the lowest seed going to the Sweet 16 now?
Arkansas as a 10.
Yeah, that's not. See what I mean? Like nobody lower than Arkansas. I mean that's kind of mid. But hey, what are you gonna do about it? I guess.
Yeah, but like the lower schools, I mean, they did get fights. They did give some fights. It's not that they all got blown out. Like they were all competitive, except for
Yeah,
except for some games in there. But this is not your normal March Madness where there's there's like this magical Cinderella story. And the only Cinderella team that we have left is, or they're not even Cinderella yet, but the only team that could potentially be a Cinderella is Arkansas. And even then, they would have to
yeah,
make the Final Four in order for them to be a Cinderella, in my
literally.
opinion.
Who do they play
And
now?
Texas Tech.
Mm, that's not the worst matchup.
Yeah, it would be interesting if John Calipari leads Arkansas to like a Final Four
Their first
for
year.
like his first year. And meanwhile, he didn't really do squat with Kentucky for a little bit.
Yeah.
That that would be interesting. So, anyways, let's get to some more recaps of the last day of the first weekend here in March Madness. And then this was another contender for game of the day, but that last shot for Dairy Queen was ridiculous. This game right here had to be in second place. So tops are one seed of Florida survived the 8 seed Yukon today, 77-75. This was a thriller. It definitely was. Yukon was basically leading for most of the second half, and then Florida eventually came roaring back and eventually won the game. Meanwhile, let's take a look at some stats. Florida was led by Walter Clayton Jr., who had 23 points on the day. And then Elijah Martin had 18 points for the Gators, and Will Richard had 15 points and 6 rebounds for Florida. And then leading the way for UConn, they were led by Liam McNeely, who had 22 points. And then Alex Caravan had 14 points for the Huskies. And then Samson Johnson had 10 points and 10 rebounds for UConn. So, Dre, your takeaways from this game.
Um, UConn had it in the bag, if I'm going to be honest. But after that, I mean, at the very end, Florida just went on a run. Walter Clayton put the team on his back. I mean, it was an all around effort, but Walter Clayton was definitely the best player out there today.
Yeah, Walter Clayton was making some ridiculous shots. I mean, especially that one where it was like a tie game and UConn just played great defense. And then Walter Clayton just hit like a side step back three and just nothing but that. Like, come on. Like, that you got to tip the cap to that. That was just a great shot from Walter Clayton. I mean, I had UConn win this game, so I was kind of frustrated seeing that happen because my bracket's even more busted. So, yeah, this March Madness is definitely not treating me well. I mean, I thought I had a lot of upsets and some Cinderellas there, but there's not been a lot of them this year. So, yeah, I've been struggling this March. So, but anyways, so Florida, they do survive against UConn. Dre, do you have any other thoughts about this game?
Dan Hurley, I'm glad he lost. Other than that, I got nothing.
Alrighty, to Dan Hurley hate still lives on. like usual. Alrighty, and then our next matchup was not that close at all. So, another one seed, Duke, easily took care of business against the 9th seeded Baylor with a 189 to 66. Yeah, Duke basically took control in the first half and they never looked back. Leading the way for the Blue Devils was Tyrese Proctor, who had 25 points for the Blue Devils. And they were also led by Cooper Flagg, of course, putting up 18 points and 9 rebounds, 6 assists. And Con Knipple, of course, the Wisconsin native, putting up 12 points for the Blue Devils today. And of course, his little brother, Kager Knipple, won a state championship with Wisconsin Lutheran. So, anyways, just a very
Or
good
back to
weekend.
back.
Yeah, I think, yeah, they did go back to back. So, overall, a great weekend for the Knipple family.
I mean, when you have a full team of 6'7" guys, it's kind of easy. But that's what you get when you're a Milwaukee school, not some D5 school.
Yeah, exactly. Especially a private school like that for Wisconsin Lutheran. Anybody knows about the WIA, private schools can recruit. So Wisconsin Lutheran taking great advantage of that.
They're not allowed to recruit. It's just that, you come to this school, we'll give you great benefits. And they're like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, and you can play basketball here and go D1. Oh, yeah, sure, I'll do that too. That's basically it. But
Yeah, that's Dre summed it up really well. Alrighty, and then taking a look at the stats for Baylor, they were led by VJ Edgecombe, who had 16 points and 6
Edgecombe.
rebounds. Edgecombe, sorry, VJ Edgecombe. He had 16 points and 6 rebounds. So that is most likely his final college basketball game, as he most likely will go to the NBA draft later this summer or this next summer in the summer. And then Norchad Omir had 15 points and 9 rebounds for Baylor. And then Robert Wright III and Langston Love each having 11 points. And then also noting Jeremy Roach, who came off the bench for Baylor, he took on his former team today. He played at Duke for his first 3 years of his college career, and then he transferred to Baylor. He got to face him again, and he just struggled. 7 points today from 3 of 10 shooting, and 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. Overall, Baylor struggled from the 3-point line, only shooting 32%. Meanwhile, Duke excelled, shooting 54.5% from the 3-point line. Baylor shot 36.8% from the field. Meanwhile, Duke shot an amazing 64.4% clip from the field. So, Dre, your takeaways from this one?
Tyrese Proctor was on a heater. That's all I'm gonna say. I watched like the last 10 minutes of the game. He made like 4 threes. That's why he was their leading scorer, because he was on an absolute heater.
Yeah, take a look at this impressive stat line. 7 for 8 from the 3-point line. Wow, 7 3-pointers in one game. That goes crazy. And then 9 for 10 for the field. So very efficient shooting for Tyrese Proctor. So yeah, Duke easily moves on, and they are set to take on the winner of Oregon and Arizona, which currently Arizona leads Oregon 80 to 76 with a minute and 19 left. We'll give you the recap on that game once that game gets over at the moment of this recording. So anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about, 3-seeded Kentucky defeated 6-seed Illinois today, 84 to 75. This is another frustrating one. I had Illinois winning this one, but yeah, the bracket continues to get worse. So, anyways, Kentucky was led by Kobe Brea, who had 23 points today, and they were also led by Otega Owe, who had 15 points and only 4 rebounds today. Lamont Butler had 14 points and 5 assists and 3 steals today for Lamont Butler. So, incredible defensive performance there. And then also leading the way for Illinois was Kylan Boswell, who had 23 points and 6 assists. Tomislav Ivicic had 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Kasparas Yakuchonis, who most likely played his final game in college basketball, as he will most likely go to the NBA draft this summer. He had 13 points and 5 rebounds, but he struggled shooting today. He only shot 2 for 9 for the 3-point line and also went 5 for 13 from the field. And that's pretty much the notable stats for this game. So, Dre, what do you got from this game?
I don't know. Kind of mid, if being honest.
Yeah, Illinois. Yeah, they disappointed. They did not shoot the ball well. So did Illinois. They shot 28.1% from the 3-point line compared to Kentucky's 28 or 38.1% from three. And both teams did not shoot great from the free throw line. Illinois shot 12 for 19. Kentucky shot 12 for 20. And then the field goal percentages were all right. Illinois shot 43.5% clip, and Kentucky shot 47.1% from the field. So, anyways, that was Kentucky against Illinois. So now Kentucky, they will go up against Tennessee, and a conference matchup going on in this Sweet 16. So that'll be something to look forward to. And meanwhile, we're gonna move on to our next game here. And this one, we got number 2 Alabama takes care of number 7 St. Mary's 80-66. Another frustrating day. I had St. Mary's winning this one. Oh well. But anyways, leading the way for Alabama was Chris Youngblood, who had 13 points today for the Crimson Tide. And then all having 12 points was Aiden Holloway, Mark Sears, and Grant Nelson. They all had 12 points today. And then Cliff Omori had 10 points and 11 rebounds today. So a double-double for Omori. He started today. And then Mohamed Diobati had 10 points off the bench and 5 rebounds as well. And then leading the way for St. Mary's was Mitchell Saxon, who had 15 points today for the Gales. Augustus Marachonis had 11 points. And then Harry Wessels had 12 points coming off the bench for St. Mary's. And then Luke Barrett struggled from the field today. He only had 6 points, 2 for 7 from the field, and 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. Luke Barrett just struggled today. So, Dre, your thoughts about Alabama taking care of this one?
Their bigs dominated. Clifford Amoria threw down like 4 alley-oop dunks. What's the other guy's name?
Mohamed Diabate.
No, the
Oh,
older guy.
Grant Nelson.
Yeah, he shot a few 3-pointers, made them, and then he was just bullying kids. There's the one big guy for St. Mary's. He did all right, but yeah, St. Mary's really couldn't shoot the ball either.
Yeah, as you see, St. Mary's shot 3 for 14 for the 3-point line,
Yeah,
21.4%, and field goals not much better, 24 for 70 at the 34.3% clip. Meanwhile, Alabama didn't shoot the 3-ball great, but did enough, 7 for 17 for 41.2%, and then 29 for 56 from the field, shooting at a 51.8% clip. So, yeah, like you said, you projected that Cliff Omori would have a lot of alley-oop dunks today. You said that in yesterday's podcast in your pick'ems, and you got it right.
yeah. I'm still mad that I didn't put more money on that. I did on one, but I've been struggling because I've been putting in a bunch of parlays, and then I don't follow through on my own, and then the ones that I'm super confident in that I post on TikTok, they hit, and then the ones that I'm not confident in, they don't hit. So it's like, why am I putting more money on the other ones? But we'll get to that later.
We will certainly get back to that later for our pick'em segment here on the podcast. So, anyways, that is all for Alabama and St. Mary's. Meanwhile, we're going to move on to our next game here, in which we have an upset. Number 6 Ole Miss upsetted number 3 Iowa State 91-78. Ole Miss dominating this game. They were up by over 20 points at one point. Iowa State tried to make a comeback in garbage time, but at that point it was too late. Ole Miss just dominated this one defensively, only allowing 29 points in the first half compared to scoring 40. And overall, just a great performance for Ole Miss. Leading the way for the Rebels was Sean Padula, who had 20 points and 8 assists on the day. And then Malik Dia had 18 points for Ole Miss and 8 rebounds as well. Matthew Morrell had 15 points for the Rebels, and then Jalen Murray had 11 points. But then Jamin Brakefield had 19 points for Ole Miss today off the bench. He was 2 for 2 from the three-point line, 6 for 8 for the field, and 5 for 5 in the free throw line. Overall, Ole Miss shot a great clip from the three-point line, 11 for 19, which is at 57.9%. Meanwhile, Iowa State only shot 8 for 22, which was a 36.4% three-point clip. Leading the Cyclones was Curtis Jones, who had 26 points, and he was 4 for 9 for the three-point line and 9 for 17 for the field. And then Curtis Jones did this off the bench. Joshua Jefferson had 16 points for the Cyclones today, and Nate Heiss had 13 points for Iowa State. So, Dre, your thoughts about this upset?
I mean, I didn't really have Iowa State going very far. They were fraudulent. I knew that. And then Milan, whatever, he had like 5 points, however many minutes he played. That was an underperformance by him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this. Milan Momcilovic had 5 points today, only shooting 2 for 12 in the field and 1 for 8 for 3. Rough day for Milan. And also considering that Iowa State was without their best player, Keshawn Gilbert. So that's something to look at. Iowa State was very injury riddled, mainly why they were fraudulent in the NCAA tournament. So, any other thoughts about this one?
I got nothing.
Got none. Alrighty, that's it for that one. And then Michigan State. They survived the scare today against New Mexico. They won this one 71-63. New Mexico had a 10-point lead earlier in the first half, but Michigan State would respond. Then the game would go back and forth until Michigan State would eventually pull out a later run or a later run in the latter half of the second, and they would eventually win the game 71-63. Leading the way for Michigan State was Jaden Akins, who had 16 points for the Spartans today. And then off the bench, Trey Holloman had 14 points for the Spartans. And then also for Michigan State off the bench, Frankie Fiddler had 10 points for Michigan State. And also Jace Richardson had 6 points, but he struggled today, only shooting 1 for 10 from the field and 0 for 5 from the three-point line. And then for New Mexico, they were led by Nelly Jr. Joseph, who had 16 points, but did foul out in the second half. And then Mustafa Amzil had 14 points for New Mexico, and Donovan Dent also had 14 points for the Lobos. So, Dre, what are your thoughts about this scare for Michigan State?
Well, New Mexico's a good team. They have a couple players that will definitely be going to the NBA, or at least the G League. But other than that, Jace Richardson played horrendous tonight. but I think they still got an Elite Eight or a Final Four run in them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And with Iowa State being knocked out there, I mean, Ole Miss is not an easy team to face off. They got another difficult matchup with them, but I could definitely see this team going far. I could definitely see this team going far. They were my national champion pick. And this game, even though they did survive against New Mexico, that doesn't change that. I love General Izzo. He always, always wins during March, and he just proved it again. He wins different styles of winning. He can win by blowouts or win by these chippy, close, and competitive games like this one. So, yeah, Michigan State, again, they just find ways to win in March under Tom Izzo. It's just incredible what Tom Izzo can do with that team. And Dre, do you have anything more about this game?
No, I do not.
Alrighty, and that is it for March Madness updates for now. Well, Arizona is currently up Oregon 81-80 with 10.6 seconds left at the time of this recording. So Arizona's got the ball. So it looks like Oregon is going to foul. So meanwhile, that's going to take up some time here. So Dre, you want to lead us in the NBA segment today?
Yeah, I got it. If I can pull it up real quick. All right, we're gonna speed through this. Even though we're only at 26 minutes, I like going fast. We had 8 games today. We will start with the first game of the day. The New Orleans Pelicans lost to the Detroit Pistons 136 to 130. Pretty close compared to what I thought it would be. The Pistons were led by Ron Holland, the rookie, with 26 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Jalen Durns, a double-double, 22 points, 12 rebounds. Tobias Harris with 14. Marcus Sasser with 20. And Malik Beasley with 13. And Dennis Schroeder had 16 points and 5 assists. Yeah. Other than that, nothing really special for the Pistons. For the Pelicans, they were led by C.J. McCollum. 40
Whoa.
piece.
Wow.
Jordan Hawkins with 25 points. And then Bruce Brown, 12. Kelly Olynyk with 10. Carlo Matkovic with 8 points and 11 rebounds. 2 points with a double-double. Jose Alvarado, 10 points, 8 assists. And then Jeremiah Robinson Earl with 13 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. So Alvarado and Robinson Earl were both 2 rebounds away from double-double. Yo, why is it echoing? I don't know. But overall, they both shot around 55, 56% from the field. They both shot around 50% from 3. They both shot around 75% from the free throw line. Wow. Pelicans won. Oh, well, that's where it is. I'll say that. Pelicans won the rebounding battle, but they had 17 turnovers compared to the Pistons' 6. So, yeah, that is where they lost the game right there. When you have a young team, that's not how you win ball games. All right, our second game of the day will be the Cavaliers and the Jazz. Cavaliers won this game 120-91. Cavs were led by Jared Allen, 18 points and 6 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell, 16 points. DeAndre Hunter, 16 points, 6 rebounds. Ty Jerome, 12 points. Darius Garland, 12 points, 7 rebounds. And Evan Mobley with a double-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds. The Jazz were led by Kyle Filipowski with a double-double, 18 points, 13 rebounds. Colin Sexton with 10. Jordan Clarkson with 10. Johnny Juzang with 12. Bryce Sensabaugh with 10. And Walker Kessler with 7 points, 13 rebounds. He hit a three-pointer. Why is he hitting three-pointers? Guess who bet on him hitting a three-pointer? Me. I don't know why he's shooting three-pointers, but whatever. Cavs shot around 46% from the field. The Jazz shot 36. Jazz shot 32% from the three-point line. They shot 50 three-pointers. Cavs shot 23%. Both teams struggled from the free throw line, shooting sub 70%. Cavs lost the rebounding battle by 1, but had 1 more offensive rebound. And they turned the ball over 12 less times. The Jazz had 18 turnovers to the Cavs 6. But yeah, next game, we have the Hornets and the Heat. If it'll load, the Heat were led by Andrew Wiggins, 40 piece, 42 points. Tyler Hero, 29 points. Kello Ware, 12 points, 8 rebounds. Bam Adebayo, 11 points, 4 rebounds. Davian Mitchell, 12 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Haywood Highsmith, 7 points, 6 rebounds. And then for the Hornets, they were led by Nick Smith Jr. with 19 points. LaMelo Ball with a double-double, 18 points, 11 assists. Miles Bridges with a double-double, 17 points, 13 rebounds. Mark Williams, 14 points. And Seth Curry with 10 points. Overall, the Heat shot 57% and the Hornets shot 47%. Heat shot 41% from 3 compared to the Hornets' 33%. The Hornets shot 12 for 13 from the free throw line, 92%, compared to the Heat's 16 for 20 at 80%. Hornets won the rebounding battle, but lost the turnover battle 19-10. So yeah, again, all these young teams turn the ball over. That's why they're losing games. Sadly, for the first time in this podcast, the Portland Trailblazers have lost. They lost to the Boston Celtics today, 129-116. They were led by Jason Tatum with 39-9, so 1 rebound away from a double-double and 1 assist away from a triple-double. Sam Hauser, 24 points. Okay. Derek White with 17 and 8 assists. Peyton Pritchard with 16 points. Luke Cornett with 13. And yeah, that's about it. The Trailblazers were led by Shaedon Sharpe with 23 points and 6 rebounds. Toumani Camara, 19 points, 7 rebounds. Denny Avdia, 17 points, 11 rebounds with a double-double. Anthony Simons with 15 points, and Matisse Thybulle with 12 points. Scoot Henderson also chipped in 9 points and 6 assists. Overall, both teams shot around 50% from the field. Celtics shot 46% from 3 compared to the Trailblazers 40. Both teams shot barely 70% at the free throw line. Wow, they both got exact same rebounds and the exact same offensive and defensive rebounds. Not too many turnovers this game, only 21 in total. Trailblazers 12 to the Celtics 9. So yeah, pretty decent game, honestly. The next game we have is the Hawks and the 76ers. Hawks won this one, 119. Hawks were led by Trae Young with 28 points, 12 assists, double-double. Dominic Barlow with 13 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. Georges Niang, 20 points. Onyeka Okongwu, 14 and 9, 1 rebound away from double-double. And Zachary Risachet with 22 points. 76ers were led by Quentin Grimes, obviously, 26 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Sold my parlay by 1 point. Justin Edwards, 22 points. Chuma Okeke, 8 points, 8 rebounds. Jeff Doughton, 17 points. And then Ricky Council with 14 points. Why is Alex Reese number 65? Whatever, we're not going to talk about that. Overall, Hawks shot 55% to the 76ers 44. Hawks shot 46% from the three-point line. 76ers shot 32. Hawks shot 86% from the free throw line compared to the 76ers 75. Pretty even rebounding numbers, and the Hawks actually turned the ball over 3 more times. So yeah. The next game we have is the Spurs and the Raptors. Spurs demolished the Raptors 123-89. They were led by Devin Vassell with 25.6 rebounds. Julian Santana had 20 and 5. Sandro Mamukelashvili had 13.7 rebounds. Jeremy Sokan, 9 points, 5 rebounds. Harrison Barnes, 10 points, 3 rebounds. And Bismack Biyombo with 8 points and 9 rebounds. The Raptors were led by Scotty Barnes with 22 points, 6 and 6. RJ Barrett, 18.7 rebounds. Jamal Shed with 17 points and 6 assists. And then Jacoby Walter with 10 points. And I guess Jonathan Mongbo had 6 points, 10 rebounds. Overall, a very poor shooting game, even though the Spurs shot 47, the Raptors shot 38%. Three-pointers were not at a premium today. Spurs shot 32% to the Raptors 26. Spurs shot 84% from the free throw line. The Raptors shot 69%. Both of them had 46 rebounds, but again, the Raptors had 7 more turnovers. Whew. Our second to last game is the Nuggets and the Nuggets and the Rockets. The Nuggets were led by Jamal Murray, 1 point off of a 40-piece, 39.7 assists. DeAndre Ayton got 11 points and 15 rebounds. Who would have saw that coming? They're just led by unks, I guess. Russell Westbrook, 14 points. Michael Porter Jr., 17 points, 9 rebounds. And then Aaron Gordon with 13 points, 8 assists. I guess Peyton Watson did chip in 9 points, 5 rebounds. The Rockets were led by Dylan Brooks with 21 points. Alperen Sengun in a loss with a triple-double, 17 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. Jalen Green, the one day I don't bet on him, 30-piece, of course. And then Steven Adams with a double-double, 14 and 12. And then after the great game Fred VanVleet had, he dropped 7 points. Overall, the Nuggets shot 50% from the field compared to the Rockets' 44%. The Nuggets also shot 47% from the three-point line, while the Rockets shot 32%. Both teams shot below 70%. I'm not even saying the numbers for that. A 2 rebound difference, the Rockets did win the rebound battle, and only 15 turnovers. The Rockets actually turned the ball over less. That's kind of nuts. And then finally, our final game of the night that just ended, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the LA Clippers 103-101. They were led by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, obviously, with 26 points, 8 assists. Alex Caruso chipped in 14 and 6. Isaiah Hartenstein with 14 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. Aaron Wiggins with 19 points, and Jalen Williams with an IN had 12.7 rebounds, and then Lou Dort with 10 points. The Clippers were led by Kawhi Leonard with a double-double at 25 and 10. Ivica Zubac had 15 points, 11 rebounds. James Harden with 17 points, 8 assists. Derrick Jones Jr. with 9. Chris Dunn with 7. And then Ben Simmons with 8 points, 7 rebounds. And Amir Coffey with 9. Overall, poor shooting for both teams. 40% from the Thunder, 43% from the Clippers. 43% from 3 for the Thunder, 30% for the Clippers. 85% free throw percentage for the Thunder, 82% for the Clippers, and then rebounds pretty much the same. And the Clippers did turn the ball over 5 more times. So, did anything stick out to you, Michael?
I just gotta say about the Miami Heat. We also talked. You talked about the Trailblazers' first time losing since we started this podcast. This is the first time the Heat won since we started this podcast. With the Heat winning,
team that hasn't won yet.
Yeah. So like I was saying, the Heat had snapped their 10-game losing streak when they beat the Hornets today, and they previously lost 11 of 12. So, yeah, that's a pretty good big win for the Heat today. Confidence boosting today. And, yeah, that's just a great day for the Heat. And then the Thunder and Clippers, that was just a great defensive battle that I've watched. I watched the ending of the game, and just, boy, both teams just had the hard time struggling to score, and it was just a great game to watch. Great finish at the end. Kawhi Leonard tried getting his shot off at the end, but the Thunder defense,
Yeah, blocked.
The Thunder defense did not allow it. Norman Powell also missed a 3 there. But overall, looking at this slate, and also just one silly thing I was got to say. So you remember when Anthony Black and Grady Dick swapped jerseys, right?
Yeah.
So over the weekend, when the 76ers and the Hawks previously played, so the 76ers, Adem Bona, and the Atlanta Hawks' Mohamed Gay swapped jerseys together.
Gay Bona. Oh man, that's awesome. I love that. That's sportsmanship, though. They just know, and they're not even from America, dude. Their names are normal in their countries, and then they come to the NBA and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's funny."
Yeah, it's fun stuff to see. Always love to see them silly jersey swaps. Love to see it continue.
For real.
Otherwise, that's pretty much all I got. Oh yeah, also CJ McCollum dropping 40 points after how much he's struggling this year. Honestly, good for CJ McCollum.
Dang.
Oh yeah. Also, I forgot to mention we have a final. We have a final score in Seattle, Washington. So 4 seed Arizona has defeated the 5 seed Oregon 87-83. This is the final game of the March Madness first weekend. So, anyways, Arizona was led by Caleb Love, who had 29 points and also had 9 rebounds and 4 assists. He shot 5 for 7 for the 3 point line, 10 for 18 from the field, and 4 for 4 for the free throw line. A typical Caleb Love good game. And then also Toby Awaka, Anthony Del Rosso, Jaden Bradley, and KJ Lewis off the bench each scored 12 points for the Cats. But Toby Awaka had 14 rebounds to go along with his 12 points. And yeah, so Arizona shot 10 for 20 for the 3 point line, 50% clip. A great shooting day for Arizona against this tough, tenacious Oregon defense. And then Oregon was led by Jackson Shelstad, who had 25 points today. TJ Bamba had 17 points. Nate Biddle had 16 points and 11 rebounds. And overall, Oregon only shot 7 for 20 from the 3 point line, 35%, and just 32 for 68 from the field, 41. That's a 47.1% for the clip. So, anyways, Dre, your reactions about this final game of the first weekend?
I got nothing. I'm just ready to listen to hockey. I wonder. I don't even know how many games there were today. I'm gonna look.
You're ready to listen to hockey, eh?
Yeah, you really just said an A because of Canada, eh? Oh, there
Maybe.
were quite a few games today. I think. At least that's what I'm seeing. All I know is the Blackhawks won. Hell yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that Blackhawks game?
Yeah, I will. Let's start off with that because that was the first game of the day, anyways. The
Yeah.
Chicago Blackhawks got a win versus the Philadelphia Flyers. The mid-off. 3-3 after the first period. That's how you know the goalies are buns. The Blackhawks were led by, let's see, who had the most goals here? Ryan Donato with 2 goals, but they were led in points by Tyler Bertuzzi. Never heard that guy in my life. I followed hockey a lot last year. This year I have not, and they have gotten rid of a lot of people, and it makes me sad. Um, yeah, but Connor Bedard had a goal and an assist. Philip Kurashev 2 assists. Patrick Maroon had a goal and an assist. Tuevo, I'm not even pronouncing that last name. 2 assists. Joe Valeno, another guy I don't know, a goal and an assist. Nick Foligno and Ilya Mikheyev both had an assist. Lucas Reichel with a goal. Yes, sir. Now, who is the guy that they just brought up that was the second overall pick? Was it this guy, Artyom Levshunov? Um, I don't know.
Hold on,
I
I'm
think
searching up
it
right now.
was. I think
It,
that was their second overall pick.
it was Artyom Levshinov.
That was their second pick?
Yep.
Yeah, so he did absolutely nothing except to shoot 2 shots on goal.
Well, he's a
Wow.
defenseman. So,
Oh,
yeah.
loser. The Flyers were led by Travis Sanheim with a goal. Um, Bobby Brink had a goal. Noah Cates, Tyson Forster both had assists. Travis Konecki had a goal and an assist. Jamie Drysdale had a goal and an assist, and Sean Couturier had 2 assists. That is all for that game. That's all I got. Now I can listen to Michael actually know what he's talking about.
Alrighty, so of course the Blackhawks did beat the Flyers 7-4. So crazy day, a lot of scoring in Chicago. Anyways, looking at our next matchup, we're gonna take you to Canada, where I had that A accent.
And that, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Um. So yeah. So the Buffalo Sabres rebounded after a loss against the Minnesota Wild yesterday. They defeated the Winnipeg Jets, so the Buffalo Sabres are doing the Minnesota Wild a huge favor right now. The Sabres won 5-3. Leading the way for the Buffalo Sabres was their goaltender James Reimer, who had 33 saves and only allowing 3 goals. Also, Jacob Bernard Docker had 2 assists for the Sabres. And then for the Jets, they were led by Nino Niederreiter, who had a goal. And then the Panthers defeated the Penguins in a shootout, 4-3. The Panthers were led by Sam Reinhart, who
Hey,
had
I
2
know that
goals.
guy.
Sam Reinhart?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he
I
was
got
a
NBA news. James Harden has passed somebody for now he's 11th on the all-time scoring list.
There you go. Now we got breaking news for the NBA. So, yeah, congrats to James Harden.
He's gonna be top 10 by the time he retires.
Oh, he definitely will for sure. And he's still playing very well right now. He's averaging like 25 points per game. So, yeah, he'll definitely get there. All right. So, anyway, Sam Reinhart had 2 goals for the Panthers today in their 4-3 shootout win over the Penguins. Leading the way for the Penguins was Brian Rust, who had 2 goals and assist. And then also for the Panthers, Alexander Barkov had an assist for the Panthers. And then the Blues defeated the Predators 4-1. The Blues were led by Robert Thomas, who had 3 assists today. The Blues were also led by Justin Falk, who had 1 goal.
Oh, you just said a bad word. Ha ha.
No,
We're
it's
gonna
Falk.
get destroyed because of that. We're all gonna die.
No, it's Falk. I try to say Falk. My bad with the mispronunciation. So Justin Falk had a goal and assist, and then Jake Neighbors had 2 assists for the St. Louis Blues today. And then the Vegas Golden Knights defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-2. The Golden Knights were led by Ilya Samsonov, who had 35 saves today and only allowing 2 goals. The Golden Knights were also led by Nicholas Roy, who had a goal, and Jack Eichel also had a goal for the Golden Knights. And the Carolina Hurricanes defeated the Anaheim Ducks 5-2. The Hurricanes were led by Taylor Hall, who had a hat trick for the Canes today, scoring 3 goals. And then Frederick Anderson, the goaltender for the Hurricanes, had 35 saves, only allowing 2 goals today. And then leading the way for the Ducks was Troy Terry. Troy Terry, as I'm looking at the wrong stat box, my bad. So Troy Terry did some work today. He had 3. Looks like he had 3 shots made. He had 6 shots overall, and yeah, he led the Ducks. And then the game that just finished today, the Kings dismantled the Bruins today, 7-2. The Kings were led by Quinton Byfield, who had a goal and assist, and then Adrian Kempe for the Kings had 2 assists. And then also scoring a goal for the Kings was Warren Fogle, who had a goal as well. So that's the day for the NHL. So, Dre, do you have anything else about the NHL day today?
I do not.
And also, we're getting to that time, so I just want to take a look at both the NBA and NHL standings real quick. So, since we're starting to get to playoff mode, don't worry, we will still have time for picks. But anyways, I'm just gonna run through these quickly. So in first place in the East, you got the Cavs right now, who are 57-14, who already clinched the Central Division. In second place, you got the Boston Celtics, who are 52-19, who are 5 games back of the Cavs, who clinched the playoff berth already. The Knicks are currently in third with a 44-26 record, 12.5 games behind the Cavs. And fourth, you got the Indiana Pacers, who are 41-29, who are 15.5 games back of the Cavs. Fifth place, you got the you got the Bucks, who are 40-30, who are 16.5 games behind the Cavs. And then sixth place, you got the Detroit Pistons, who are 40-32, who are 17.5 games behind the Pistons. But yeah, 4.5 games above the Hawks for that final playoff spot. In seventh place, you got the Hawks, who are 35-36, who are 4.5 games behind the Pistons for that final playoff spot. And then in eighth, you got the Orlando Magic, who are currently 33-38, who are 24 games, or excuse me, 6.5 games behind the Pistons for that final playoff spot. Ninth place, you got Dre's Chicago Bulls, who are 31-40, who are currently 26 games behind or excuse me, 26 games behind the Cavs, but
I'm the
eight and a
Pistons.
half, 8.5 games behind the Pistons. And then in 10th, you got the Miami Heat, who are 30-41, who are 9.5 games behind the Pistons for the final playoff spot, but 6 games above the Toronto Raptors for that final play-in spot. And then as following, the Raptors are currently 24-47, who are 6 games behind the Heat. The Nets are 23-38, who are 7 games behind the Heat. The 76ers are 23-48, who are 7 games behind the Heat. And then the Hornets are 18-53, who are eliminated, and then the Wizards are 15-55, who are also eliminated. Then the Western Conference, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 59-12, as they clinched the number one seed in the Western Conference. In second place, you got the Houston Rockets, who are 46-26, who are 13.5 games behind the Thunder. Third place are the Denver Nuggets, who are 45-27, who are 14.5 games behind the Thunder. Fourth place got the Los Angeles Lakers, who are 43-27, who are 15.5 games behind the Thunder. Fifth place, you got the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 43-28, who are 16 games behind the Thunder. And then sixth place, you got the Golden State Warriors, who are 41-30, who are 18 points behind the Thunder, and a half a game above the Minnesota Timberwolves for the final playoff spot. In seventh place, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are 41-31, who are a half game back of the Warriors for the final playoff spot. In eighth place, you got the Los Angeles Clippers, who are 40-31, who are a game back of the Warriors. And ninth place, you got the Sacramento Kings, who are 35-35, that are 23.5 games behind, or excuse me, 5.5 games behind the Warriors. And then 10th place, you got the Phoenix Suns, who are 34-37, who are 7 games behind the Warriors for that final playoff spot, and are currently tied with the Mavericks for the final playoff spot. And the Dallas Mavericks are tied with the Suns with a 34-37 record, tied with the Suns for the final playoff spot. Portland Trailblazers are 32-40, who are 2.5 games behind the playoff spot. And you got San Antonio Spurs are 31-39, who are 2.5 games behind the Suns for a playoff spot. And the New Orleans Pelicans with a 19-53 record, and the Utah Jazz with a 16-56 record are eliminated from the playoffs. So that's just your quick update for the NBA standings. We'll get to the NHL standings another time since we do not have enough time for that tonight. But meanwhile, that's your update. So, Dre, it's time for pick'em segments. So, what do you have for your picks tonight?
Um, I really like PJ Washington over 20 points. The Nets have been struggling lately, and I mean, he has these stat lines are crazy. 38 minutes, 27 points, 38 minutes, 26 points, 32 minutes, 29 points against Philadelphia. Philadelphia's on the and he dropped 27 and 26 on two pretty good teams, which are the Pistons and the Pacers. So, and then 29 on the Philadelphia 76ers. If the 76ers could keep it a game, since both of these, or no, it's the Nets, sorry. If the Nets could keep it a game, which they're both kind of mid, I like that. I like that a lot. And he's been chucking up threes too. I've been watching the box scores, making sure he actually like plays good. And he's been shooting a lot of threes too. I just realized on the 21st against the Pistons, he had 9 turnovers. Bro almost had a double double in turnovers. That is crazy.
Wow.
And then my second pick, I like Kai Jones over 6.5 rebounds. He is a high flyer, and he can snag rebounds against Nick Claxton, who is not very physical. And 7 rebounds, he has 7 his last game against Detroit when he only played 24 minutes, and 18 against Indiana where he also only played 24 minutes. So hopefully, I mean, if you're not confident with that, you can go with his PRA, which actually his PRA might be better, honestly, because they've been throwing him oops, and he gets that and he yams it. I mean, he has 20 PRA, 30 PRA. Honestly, I'm doing that. I'm putting in a parlay right now with his PRA just to make sure. Another guy I like Chuma Okiki for over his PRA. He has it in 2 of his last 3 games where he's played over 30 minutes. He had 18 today against Atlanta, and he had 31 against OKC. His double double line's 5 multiplier. I will get to a double double at some point, but yeah, he will not get a double double against. Who are they playing? The Pelicans. That's a mid off. 76ers and the Pelicans. Also, you always have to go with Quentin Grimes for over his points. And then Justin Edwards, rookie out of Kentucky. He has been balling lately. I like his points at 16 and a half. And then other than that, um hang on, let me go up. I do like Zaire Williams of the Nets for 12 points. Cam Johnson has been struggling. I mean, he played 36 minutes and had 20 points. Zaire Williams did not play when Cam Johnson played, but 22 points um, against Indiana last time, and then 15 against Boston, and 14 against Boston the game before that. So I like that. And obviously, there's still games that aren't out yet on Underdog. If you're using Prize Picks or other apps, there still might be games that you can put parlays on. I've learned that you need to put in around 4 to 5 4-leg parlays and flex them. That's what I do to get money, and then you have to do one parlay with 2 picks you're very confident in. Put $5 to $10 on it. Obviously, I'm not a master gambler yet. Hopefully, I will be soon enough. But I do my research. I found a great resource. Um, Go to StatMuse if it's free. So like, there's the apps that you have to pay monthly. If you want a free thing where you can look up people's career stats against teams. You can probably look up career games like without their teammates against those teams. Maybe not. I'm not for sure. I know on the ones that you pay for, you can. Like right now, I'm looking at PJ Washington against the Nets. He hasn't played a game with the Mavs against the Nets. He hasn't played them since 2023, so I'm not really getting any good information on that. But like, let's say I'm just gonna use this as an example. Austin Reeves versus the Magic. So Austin Reeves versus the Magic, and then in his last game on November 21st, he had 9 points in 33 minutes. But then like he had 20 points in the matchup before that and 11 points. And it's like, okay, you might not want to take him for over his points against the Magic because he hasn't played against them very good. Like he's only averaged 13 points and 2.9 assists. So that's just an example. I already looked up Wendell Carter. He has played against the Lakers a lot. I do like his 8 or 7.5 rebound line. And then other than that, um, that's all I got. I mean, not all the lines are out yet. I mean, obviously you have to take like Anthony Edwards over his points. He's been balling. Actually, never mind. He just dropped 17. Never mind. It was in 25 minutes because they blew him out. I remember that. But yeah. Um, Quentin Grimes, Justin Edwards, Chumo Kiki. They're all 3 gonna be starting against the Pelicans, and that should be a good game. So yeah, PJ Washington, and then my final one, my long shot pick is Kai Jones for a double double against the Nets. It's a 3 times multiplier, but in one of his 2 starts he has recently, he has a double-double. And he was only 3 rebounds away from another one. So if he plays 25, 30 minutes, if the Mavericks are struggling and they need him to play more, he's only had 1 turnover in both of those games. So, I mean, I like a double-double long shot. I'm going to find a pick to put with that. And honestly, it might be I might go 2 long shots. I might go Zaire Williams for over 15 points against the Mavericks with 22 and then 15 against Boston and 14 against Boston again. That's a $15 parlay for $1. You put $5 on it, you're winning $75. But that's my long shot. It's Kai Jones for a double-double. That's all I got for tonight, Michael.
All right, and I just want to give my take for my potential picks that I could potentially see hitting. So I'm looking at Giannis, maybe potentially above points or rebounds or PRA. I go PRA. I think Giannis above PRA against the Suns. Giannis Antetokounmpo, for some reason, he loves to play against the Suns. Assume that he plays.
And the Pacers.
Yeah,
He balls up against the Pacers.
yeah, and especially if you remember the NBA Finals, Giannis loves to ball him up too. And of course, the Suns do not have a good defense at all. I don't think they have a game plan to stop Giannis. Plus, even though it is in Phoenix, but I think Giannis is gonna have. I think Giannis is gonna feast on the Phoenix Suns defense. I really like Giannis that one. And then also going out to the ice, do not bet on any of the Minnesota Wild players. Don't. They are
Why?
playing they are playing the Dallas Stars in Dallas. And it does not matter what goaltender the Dallas Stars are having out there, whether it's Jake Ottinger or Casey DeSmith, the Minnesota Wild have always sucked against the Dallas Stars.
So
Especially in the
put them under.
I would say, but which one is a very good question, but I just have a feeling if against these like high studs, like don't do not put the risk of putting them higher because here's the Minnesota Wild struggle mightily against Jake Ottinger and especially Jake Ottinger, but they had their struggles against Casey DeSmith. So I'd say any Wild player, if you're most confident in, put the under in because they never play well against the Dallas Stars. Like the Dallas Stars have been owning the Minnesota Wild in recent years, and I know how Minnesotans feel about that because the Stars were originally a Minnesota franchise who were the Minnesota North Stars until they left for Dallas back in the late 1990s to early 2000s. And then they got the franchise in Minnesota Wild. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting there. So, those are just my thoughts about picks for the Mall Night. So, go with
Jason Robertson hat trick incoming.
I don't know about that either because the Wild have some good goaltending as well.
Does that one old guy still goaltend for them?
Marc-Andre Fleury, yes, and
Really?
this is his final year though. He's retiring after this year.
Hey, get a ring for the guy. Did he not used to goaltend for the Blackhawks, or am I just stupid?
He did goaltend for the Blackhawks.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. So that's gonna do it for our podcast episode today. So thank you all for tuning in. Oh yeah, and one more notice. Make sure if you're gambling, or make sure if you're using Underdog, please use our promo codes BearsOG24 or Michael Hearn 3428, something like that. And then please bet responsibly. If you are losing, take a break. Just like I have recently, I'm gonna take a little break for a little bit. Don't worry, I'll get back on the grind. I'm gonna still make some picks. Yeah, but set budgets for yourself. Do not blow your money away.
yeah.
Please bet responsibly. So don't worry, I'll get back on the betting, but
Yeah,
pretty soon.
Sorry.
Yeah. But anyways, please bet responsibly and just take care of your finances before you start gambling. Gambling's a rough business if you lose, but something you gotta be smart. But don't worry, we're gonna try to help you guys with gambling, so it's not that much of an issue. But anyways, that'll do it. So thank you for watching our podcast today, this episode. I'm Michael Hernan with Andre Tanner as always. And tomorrow we might be doing in person, so you don't have to see two screens. It might just probably be one screen. It's a definitely a possibility. I think it will definitely happen. So yeah, look forward to that. So peace out, and I'll see you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Good night, everybody.